I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So I am a little froggy tonight, so bear with me. I have to go to our wonderful Vice President to finish off the easy one. Under the provision of the public meeting law of the state of Missouri, the board must adopt by roll call vote an agenda that includes the time, date, place, and tentative agenda for the meeting. A copy of the notice agenda for this meeting was posted on Tuesday, April 11, 2017 at the Administration Center, 1005 Warford Drive, Florissant, Missouri. At the same time, copies of the notice and agenda were mailed to major radio and television stations, to 3 newspapers, to all municipalities, schools, and in the district, and posted on the district website. I have a motion to adopt the agenda. Second. It's been moved by Ms. Hogshead and second by Ms. Hart? Yeah. To adopt the agenda. Are you out?
Mr. Reber.
Aye.
Mr. Brown.
Aye.
Ms. Hart.
Aye.
Secretary votes aye. Mrs. Hogshead.
Aye.
Dr. Kerman.
Aye. You know what? I'm sorry. We do need to add something to the agenda. We have an item, so we need to go back. We do need to add an agenda item, and that is to, for reorg, to vote on a date for reorg. Okay, so I need to go back and ask that we make that change on the agenda, or add it to the agenda, to vote for a date for our reorganization. So I need to
To add an agenda item.
yes, I have a motion to.
I move we add an agenda item to vote on reorganization.
I second.
They moved by Ms. Hogshead and second by Mr. Giroux that we add the agenda item, the date for reorganization of the board. We call for the vote.
Mr. Reber.
Aye.
Mr. Brown.
Aye.
Ms. Hart.
Aye.
Dr. Graves.
Aye.
Secretary votes aye. Ms. Hogshead.
Aye.
Dr. Kerman.
Aye. Thank you. Sorry about that. At this time, we'll have recognitions. Thank you.
We have a heroic student at Commons Lane, and if Dr. Bland would please come forward and introduce.
Good evening. Good evening. So at this time, I am going to ask Shania Moss and her family and Dr. Carl to come up. I'd like to recognize Shania Moss, the 3rd grade student at Commons Lane, who was recently involved in a car accident. Shania was in the car with 4 other children when her soon-to-be stepfather, the only adult in the car and driver, had a seizure. The car crashed, and Shania suffered a concussion and broken wrist. Even though Shania was injured, she was able to help rescue the 4 younger children in the car. We have mom, grandmother, who else do we have? brother, sister. Thank you all for coming.
Everything right here?
All right. Congratulations, Shania.
Dr. Bland, I understand you have some Scholar Bowl students you would like to introduce.
I do. So at this time, I'm going to have, the board would like to recognize first Adam Coleman, who's a fifth grader at Combs Elementary School, as the 2017
He's not here.
hasn't arrived. So we'll recognize when he gets here. Okay. Some more celebrations for scholars. In addition, the board congratulates the Parker Road Scholar Bowl team for winning the 2017 District Scholar Bowl. Parker Road team the following: John Michael Brown II, Destiny Payne, Claudia Ponig, and sixth graders, there we are, Bella Fernandez, Zoe Martinez, Mia Maxidon, and Grace Raycroft. The team competed in the all-district elementary school and won the title. We'd also like to thank Sarah Jennings, the fifth grade teacher at the school, who also coached the championship team. And also thank you to Ms. Crawford, the principal, for her support. Congratulations, Parker Road.
Where's Ms. Crawford?
Blended in with you. Always put me as a minute.
Congratulations.
Awesome job.
Now I get to celebrate reading, because we become better readers by reading. All right, so in order to create a culture of reading in our community, district librarians have been leading the charge on a billion-word challenge. District students are encouraged to read at least an hour each day as we strive to read 1 billion words district-wide by May 5th. Last month, the Board of Education recognized 4 district schools that had reached their yearly goal. This month, the board would like to recognize the following schools for exceeding their challenge. With the following schools at this time, please come up. Central Elementary.
I need one more. So we're not looking at it. Right here. Thank you.
Awesome. Go Central.
And at this time, Dr. Bland.
At this time, Griffith Elementary, please come up. We'd also like to recognize Tiana Wilson because she has read over 1 million words alone. So Tiana,
Yeah.
congratulations, Ricky. We have more schools. At this time, Combs Elementary.
Go Cougars!
They're home reading.
All right, and we have one more. So this is not just elementary, this is a goal for all of our schools. So at this time, I want to recognize one of our middle schools, Cross Keys. Principal. Congratulations for setting the trend for the rest of our secondary schools.
This one? All right, everybody's right here. One more time right here. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah.
Congratulations, Cross Keys. And I'd like to also thank Laura Strutler. She is our library coordinator.
Would you like to go ahead now and talk about McClure North Business Teacher receives a national award? Yay!
So at this time, the board would like to congratulate McClure North Business Teacher Jacob Lipinski for his national recognition. Mr. Lipinski was awarded the John C. Whitehead Award for the Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship NFTE for his caring connection to students, and he helps them reach their potential. Congratulations, Jake Lipinski. Congratulations.
We now have a new presenter, and if Dr. Warren would please come forward and give us the district spelling bee champions.
Awesome. Good afternoon, board. Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, actually. The Board of Education would like to recognize our 2017 District Spelling Bee champions. The 2017 grade level winners are 4th grade Jamara Lewis, Griffin Elementary School, 5th grade Orlando Taylor, Thomas Lane Elementary, 6th grade Desire Bernard, Coral Center, 7th grade Lee Palmer, Cross Keys Middle School, 8th grade Brianna Ware, Ferguson Middle School. Now, Jazia Renaud is Ferguson-Florissant District's 2017 Spelling Bee champion.
Yeah.
She went on to compete in the annual Greater St. Louis Post-Dispatch Spelling Bee and was eliminated in the 6th round. Only one other student advanced to the 7th round, so let's give her another round of applause. The board also would like to thank Lee Hamilton music teacher, Ms. Angela Anderson, for her hard work and dedication to creating this opportunity for students. Thank you. Congratulations. All right, another big award.
And now, would you like to salute the Ferguson-Florissant School District Teacher of the Year, please?
I would like to. The Ferguson-Florissant School District is proud to recognize our Teacher of the Year, Ms. Tracy Smith. Will you come up, Ms. Tracy? Tracy teaches 4th grade at Woodland Elementary School. She has taught for 22 years, 15 of those years right here in Tracy's philosophy is to inspire students to learn. In the words of one of Ms. Smith's students last year, Ms. Smith should be Teacher of the Year because she cares about how we learn, how we feel. Congratulations, Teacher of the Year, Ms. Smith.
Awesome.
And we have the Ferguson-Florissant Support Person of the Year, please.
The Ferguson-Florissant School District is pleased to recognize our Support Employee of the Year, McClure North's Office Manager Yolanda Davis. Ms. Davis used her role as a servant leader. Principal Dr. A. Kroger described Yolanda as the lifeline of the school. For parents, students, and visitors in the office, she always greets them with a sincere welcome and graciously assists them with a smile. We are truly fortunate to have Yolanda Davis represent the many great support staff throughout the district. Congratulations.
Mrs. Madrusi, if you would please come forward and introduce the Ferguson-Florissant School District Golden Chef Championship. Thank you.
Are any of our Golden Chef winners here tonight? If you could come forward if you are. Anybody? Okay. Could the teacher please come up? And Scott? Teams from all 3 high schools participated in the 3rd annual Golden Chef competition. The key ingredient, carrots, were sourced from Earth Dance Organic Farm in Ferguson, Missouri. All students presented delicious dishes to the panel of judges that included community members, local chefs, and Dr. Thurman. The judges faced a tough decision. However, McClure South Berkeley emerged victoriously and won the title of Golden Chef 2016-17. The winning students were seniors Michael Armstrong, Briolona McAllister, Jasmine Matthews, and junior Desiree Townsend. And they will receive personalized chef coats. Do you want to, will you show them the chef coats? They turned out really cool. And they will receive those, and they also have a trophy to display in their school, and the bragging rights to the title. Mayor Schneider of Florissant was in attendance to present the trophy to the winning team. Megan Feaster, Facts teacher at MSB, guided the students to victory. Their presentations, both in display and flavors, earned the championship. Thank you to all the teams, and also thank you, Megan, for you always do an awesome job with those kids, so thank you so much. For putting on this. This is our 3rd year doing this, and it has really been a fabulous event for the kids because they really enjoy that competition.
She is driving back from Chicago. She was in a meeting.
Thank you.
And thank you, Dr. Hunt, that we had our
Congratulations, Megan.
Don't go away. We now have Dr. Lisa Hazel, who is going to talk about the district athletic director nationally certified.
Thank you. Good evening. At this time, I'd like to invite Dr. Chad Kish. The board would like to congratulate Chad Kish, Athletics and Activities Director at the McClure High School, for his recognition by the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association as a certified athletic administrator. Chad has demonstrated the highest level of knowledge and expertise in the field of interscholastic athletic administration. The voluntary certification process included a thorough evaluation of Chad's educational background, experience, professional contributions, as well as a rigorous comprehensive written exam. Dr. Kish is one of the elite group of interscholastic athletic administrators nationwide to attain this level of professionalism. Congratulations,
Yes.
Dr. Kish.
Our District Child Development Center was voted the best of North County. Dr. Hazel, could you tell us more, please?
I sure could. The board would like to congratulate the district child development centers for being voted best child care. North County Chamber of Commerce and the Community News, and reflects the reputation of early education program in our community. The lead teachers in the program are Allison Melberg and Angie Lloyd. Please join us in congratulating them. I'd like to also recognize Joy Rouse and her support of this program, the director Roliette. Nice work.
Gary, would you please come forward at this time and talk to us about the traveling attendance trophy?
Good evening, board and Ferguson-Florissant family. I have the distinct pleasure of introducing, but I have the distinct pleasure of really just saying that, success is really about showing up, and these schools really show up every day for us. So we are so proud of these schools. I'm going to turn it over to Michelle. She's going to introduce the actual winners.
The elementary school with the highest percentage for attendance for last month is Combs Elementary School. The middle school that's very popular tonight, Cross Keys Middle School, has the highest.
Come on up, Cross Keys. There you go. Combs staff too. Come on up, Combs. Parents. Oh, of course. Everybody come.
And now for the high school with the highest percentage, McClure North High School. These are all of Dr. Bland's leaders.
always so wonderful to have so much to recognize in our district. Got a lot going on. Okay. At this time, we're going to have our MSBA update. This portion of the meeting is allocated for the board to provide an update of current activities and events in the district that may be of special interest to the board members and the community.
And welcome to the Missouri School Boards Association's board report for the month of April. We thank you for the opportunity to share some news and information during a few minutes of your board meeting. We begin with a look at the development of the 6th version of the Missouri School Improvement Program. MSIP, as it's known, is the state's accountability system for reviewing and accrediting public school districts. MSIP first went into effect in 1990, and the current version, MSIP 5, has been used to accredit schools since 2012. Work groups charged with developing MSIP 6 standards begin meeting this month and will focus on the 4 broad areas of academic achievement, climate and culture, systems and processes, and success-ready graduates. Commissioner of Education, Dr. Margie Van Dieven, told those attending MSBA's legislative forum she expects many issues to be considered by the work groups.
Surveys, for example, we used to have cultural surveys included in the advanced questionnaire. A lot of you are familiar with them. We used to administer some of those. But others are looking for metrics that aren't not necessarily associated with the school. So I've heard anything from unemployment rates to incarceration rates. I mean, what do you really look at to know schools are being successful? So it goes all over the board right now, and we will need your input. I think it's going to be an exciting time.
Van Dieven appeared at the MSBA Legislative Forum along with State Board of Education Vice President Dr. Vic Lenz. She says she expects the MSIP 6 development process to take a full year to complete. The arts often have a powerful impact on the education of students in our public schools. To highlight that impact, the Missouri Alliance for Arts Education recently held its annual Fine Arts Education Day at the Capitol in Jefferson City. The event featured vocal and instrumental ensemble performances, dance groups, and theatrical presentations by students from school districts throughout the state. They agree arts education is essential to their success in school.
I'm the president of our speech and theater program called At the Gavel, and so I have been in this club for 4 years for my entire high school, and being in that, I've seen introverted people who have no experience in how to communicate with others and have low self-esteem. I've seen them blossom. I've seen them develop as a person, and I think the arts is really important in trying to propel people into brighter futures and trying to find out who they are and challenge them as a person, because the arts really force you to think of different perspectives, and I really think that's important.
I think the arts have a big validation within our communities and within our state and society. They help let students grow and develop in various ways that I can't even possibly answer. But I just know that with having the arts established and with having the arts here in our state, students like myself are able to find ways to express themselves through personality, but through also characters as well.
If it did not exist in my school, I don't think I would excel in math and science. I do pretty well in school overall, but when you go to high school, there's no more recess anymore. You don't have that thing that's catering to your energy, that's catering to your needs. And if I didn't have an acting class to go to, if I didn't have a 6-hour that I felt excited to go to that drove me throughout the day, I wouldn't pay attention in math class. I wouldn't be ready for science.
Not only does it help your grades and stuff in math and science, but it also helps communication skills. Being involved in the arts will get you further in job interviews, and it helps you make eye contact, and you're able to, clearly speak to people. And it's really applicable anywhere you go.
The students also had the opportunity to meet with their state legislators and talk about the importance of their arts education experiences. The Missouri Arts Education Alliance believes the arts should be recognized as a core component of the academic curriculum and urges school districts to strengthen the quality and availability of fine arts education. Maintaining a safe and secure learning environment for both students and staff is a high priority for any school district. But do you know how safe your schools really are? One of the best ways to ensure a safe school climate is to conduct a comprehensive school safety assessment. Such an assessment, conducted by trained school safety experts, is available through MSBA's Center for Education Safety. The assessment reviews 30 areas related to school safety and provides a framework for identifying issues that might need to be addressed. Contact MSBA's Center for Education Safety for an initial consultation for a safety assessment in your school district. If you've just been elected to your local Board of Education for the first time, congratulations and welcome to school board service. One of the first things you'll want to do is complete the 16 hours of training required by state law and provided by MSBA. Half of the 16 hours can be completed online, with the other half provided at various locations in the state throughout the year. Visit the MSBA website for a complete schedule of training opportunities. There is no cost to participate in the required training. Also, mark your calendar for the annual MSBA Leadership Summit to be held June 3rd and 4th at the Lake of the Ozarks. Registration information for that event is posted on the MSBA website. And be sure your board is represented at the Delegate Assembly to be held in conjunction with the Leadership Summit. This Delegate Assembly will be electing new state officers for the coming year and also will be discussing the proposed merger of MSBA's various advocacy documents into a single document that clearly articulates MSBA's positions on education issues. That's it for this month's edition of the MSBA Board Report. Thanks for allowing us to have some time at your board meeting, and so long from Columbia.
This portion of the meeting is allocated for the board to provide an update of current activities and events in the district that may be of special interest to board members and to the community. So we'll start with our board members, Mr.
Well, hello, everyone.
Mr. there.
The video, the arts. Well, you know, I want to commend this district because if anybody's been to a play or just anything, choir event, we do a pretty good job, and I want to commend the staff for that. And it was very intentional when we put the A in the STEAM school because I think you know, there's always room for improvement, but we get it, definitely get it as far as the how important the arts are to our students. So I totally agree with his comments. I hope other districts really take heed to that. My strategic update, the district will be posting a request for proposal for food service management company on the website this Friday, April 14th. The selected vendor will be responsible for the management of the district's food service program. It is important to note that these services are for the management of the program only, and all cafeteria managers and cafe servers are employees of the district. The district has formed a committee made of a school cafeteria manager and assistant superintendent of instruction, a principal, an NEA rep, the district's cafeteria office manager, the director of finance, and the assistant superintendent for business operations. This committee will review and evaluate the proposals and will be submitting a recommendation for the board to the board for their approval in late May. If any board members are interested in observing the process, HICA will be sending a timeline of the process to all of us soon. The Finance and Human Resource Offices met this week to discuss a timeline for an upgrade to the Munis financial HR software system. This new upgrade will be tested by staff during the month of May and it'll be rolled out in the schools in early June. The upgrade should make functions easier to use. The Finance Office submitted a non-binding tax levy to the St. Louis County Assessor's Office this past week. This is a reassessment year for property in St. Louis County, and the tax rate was computed using the latest assessment figures. Property values in our district increased an average of 7% from the assessment of 2015. And that is good news, for sure. That's really good news. And, you know, since we kind of started this process, you know, I want to really, I say this all the time, but Laura Madruzik and her staff, I mean, it's amazing, shall we say, from where we've been to where we are now. And what a journey that's been for this district. And, you know, I can't say enough of what she does and how Dr. Davis makes his decisions with, you know, looking at everything in the financial impact. Because the board is, I don't know what the right word would be used, with what we went through, maybe a little just super, shall we say, hands-on as far as the money. That's for sure. And I guess the last thing I want to say is, since we're giving awards out, it was a good election. And what do I say by a good election? Well, it was fair, and we had some good candidates, and it was really not in any way, shape, or form negative. So I want to honor Dr. Thurman for winning, and there you go. And Mr. Rob Chabot. And Jessica, come on over here and let everybody see our newest board member. I guess everybody knows I kind of miss this old fella here, but I guess his time has come, and he has really brought huge value to this board. I think the board will definitely miss Mr. Brown a little bit. So.
Well, yeah. I want to congratulate you. You want to try to sit down? Keep it important for you. There you go. I'm done.
Mr. Brown.
Yeah. Let's see. We got this on. This will be my last opportunity of doing this, making a little board update. It's been delightful to be able to come back for a year. Thank you so much for asking me. Nobody better retire. But anyway, I am very pleased that I had the opportunity to be with people that I cherish, and I do. Gary, would you stand up for a second? I'm going to embarrass you. Gary Mills. I've had the opportunity of working with him. And I cannot express how delightful a time that has been for us. We've had some laughs and some tough conversation, and he's taught me a lot. I appreciate him, and I now get to give his report. Okay, so, and that is integrating mental health within the PBIS system, meaning positive behavior intervention support. A team of the Ferguson-Florissant School District members and Student Service Department attended a conference discussing the possibility of mental health in the PBIS system framework. Gary, actually, who did attend?
We may even have some members here. Myself, Tori, quite a few teachers, Dr. Clinton.
Thank you, Gary. The goal of this collaborated learning opportunity is to explore the possibility that support a blending of school and community resources, training, data, and practices In an effort to improve outcomes for all children and youth and family and community partnerships, involvement is critical to this framework. This concept aligns and integrates with the work of the comprehensive integrated third tier. These are all fancy words. We have a real interesting thing I'm going to tell you in a second. The objectives of the conference were participants would learn how school-wide systems of positive behavior support can serve as a framework for an expanded continuum of mental health interventions. Participants would also learn strategies for effectively integrating community and school-based mental health providers for an expanded system of behavioral health support. Now, why are these partnerships necessary? 1 in 5 youths have a mental health condition. About 70% of those children are not treated. School is a de facto mental health provider. Suicide is the second leading cause of death among our youth. Factors that impact mental health occur around the clock. It's challenging for the educators to address the factors beyond the school. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Ms. Hart.
Good evening, everyone. And I want to say congratulations to our candidates, the one. And I'm going to miss Keith. He was the first board member I met last year when I came to the board meetings, so I'm going to really miss him. But my area of strategic plan is networking, which was formerly known as the stakeholder and community engagement. District is actively working to build community and engage stakeholders in meaningful ways. Please be sure to check our new website, as we have features that are always added frequently. You can also see our social media feeds on the district homepage. In fact, yesterday the district posted its first videos using Facebook Live for the announcement of the Support Employees of the Year. And as you saw earlier, our District Child Development Center was named Best in North County for the 3rd consecutive year. Our Child Development Centers offer development appropriate learning for children to prepare them for success in kindergarten and life. The Department of Family and Community Engagement, which is also called FACE, has been actively working on a variety of initiatives, including a campaign to enlist volunteers for a variety of needs in our schools. A couple Saturdays ago, April 1st, I attended the legislative breakfast hosted by Educational Plus, and in addition to hearing information about the legislative actions that may affect schools, there were several speakers who shared information about work in other districts. It also was great to see our students performing selections from the WIZ for legislators and leaders from other districts, which, by the way, the students that did the WIZ did an awesome job. And we'd also like to invite you to come out to Little Creek to celebrate Earth Day on Saturday, April 22nd from 8 to noon. There will be fun, free activities for the whole family. And our billion-word challenge, to this date, our students have read 1,036, 414 books. The words read at 825,928,694. So give a big hand for all. These are just some of the ways our Ferguson-Florissant School District is building connections and stakeholders for the benefit of all our students. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hart. Dr. Briggs.
Good evening, everyone. I also would like to congratulate the winners of the election. Welcome, Jessica, and welcome back, Rob and Donna. March 15th, the district hosted the Deeper Learning Math Symposium put on by Mind Research. 70 additional people attended from all over the state and from other states as well. Several district staff had the opportunity to also attend the Deeper Learning Conference in San Diego, which was free for us, and it was paid through the Building Leadership Grant. The team will provide information that was learned to other staff in the district during the training at the Administrative Summer Institute at WashU. We are seeing a significant increase in the number of underrepresented students enrolling to take AP courses at all of our 3 high schools. We are still enrolling students. Final numbers will be available in April. This is April, so May. So for my next report, I'll be able to tell you exactly how many students that we had enrolled in AP courses for the next year. Attendance continues to be a focus of discussion. A survey was sent out to stakeholders inquiring about start times. In March, students and parents were extremely excited about receiving their acceptance letters for the new STEAM school. Kindergarten Roundup is happening at all our elementary schools this month. This is an opportunity for families to visit the school their child will be attending, meet kindergarten teachers, and learn about the kindergarten program. So I encourage all of us to reach out to our new families and welcome them to our district. And I had some other stuff, but being third in line is kind of hard because everybody already recorded some of the stuff. But in closing, I just want to wish all of our students good luck on our math testing. Hope we hit it out the park this year, and good luck on ACT testing.
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Shaw.
My turn. Good evening, everyone. My message or my report will be pretty simple tonight because if you have a copy of the agenda, most of the information regards to the infrastructures, the facilities, processes are within the consent agenda because we're going to be approving, hopefully be approving, a little over $500,000, if my math was correct, in expenditures for technology for the new STEAM school. I know they're anxious to get that ordered. Tonight, they're also going to be giving a presentation on the STEAM school, statistics of enrollment. In addition to that, I understand there'll be pictures of where we're at right now with the construction of the STEAM school. Thankfully, the staff will be taking care of most of my report there. On a more personal note, I want to thank everybody for the opportunity to come back again for the next 3 years to serve the Ferguson-Florissant School District. It is with great honor that I do that. This campaign was probably the funnest one I've ever had. That it was pretty positive. It was exhilarating to be able to go out and meet a lot more people. Campaigns are fantastic for that. It's the best thing about campaigning because not only for myself, it forces us out into the community a whole lot more. When you're sitting on the board, in addition to this meeting that you see here, we go to closed session, we try to visit the schools as much as possible, the other events, in addition to our own activities, and then for us who have children in the district, you're also doing those kind of things. So I really, it sounds weird, but I do enjoy the campaigning element because of that. It's really a grassroots. I had a great deal of volunteers that came out and supported me. I believe 100% of the money that was donated for my campaign came from within district, the people who worked in the district. 100% of our volunteers who worked the polls were people who resided in the district or lived in the district. Nobody got paid to work the polls, nobody got paid to go door to door. It was truly a grassroots volunteer effort, and it was something that I'm extremely proud of. So, but thank you again, and I look forward to the next 3 years.
Thank you.
I would also like to welcome everybody back on the board, and Jessica, I hope you enjoy it. I'm sure you will do a great job. I'm on the talent management portion of the strategic plan, and the primary activity for the past month has been in the hiring process. Currently, approximately 50% of all instructional positions have been filled. This puts the district almost 1 month ahead of this time last year, which is just great. The organization health process is progressing, and initial reports will be ready for individual buildings in the next few weeks. The organization health instrument, OHI, is a comprehensive survey that captures both teacher and administrator impressions of the overall effectiveness of the school community in areas such as goal focus, resource utilization, morale, and autonomy. Next steps will involve both district and building level meetings to review the OHI data and then strategic planning in the areas that show a need for growth. Training dates for the new and veteran administrators on the network for educator effectiveness, the evaluation tool used for certified teachers, have already been planned for the summer of 2017. Next year will be the third year of implementation and will also involve the district-wide committee that will review NEE's effectiveness. And I'd like to also thank our talent department with Dr. Boyd. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your strategic plan reports. And I won't say a lot because I can't, but I do want to say thank you also for the committees, the community in selecting me again to be on the board. It is a distinct honor to serve. I do enjoy what I do on the board. I want to say especially thank you to the campaign who supported me and the work that they did with Grade A for Change. I appreciate the work that you do and the fact that we do go out, and what Rob said is so true. It gives us an opportunity to go out and to see the community, to talk to people, to hear what people are wanting to have done in our schools. Not that we don't do that during the time that we're serving on the board, but it's poignant at this time, especially when you are running and you are a candidate. I'm not sure if I'd say it was fun, but I truly did enjoy it, to the point of, I think the last week of my campaign I spent in the hospital. So, I say that only because, no sympathy, folks, that's over with, but only because what I want to say is that even with that, people were still supporting me and doing, calling me and saying that they supported me. I really appreciated that. It was humbling. It was truly humbling to have the support. I want to say thank NEA for your support. I'm being endorsed by NEA, North County Laborers Union as well, for supporting my campaign. I don't take any of this lightly. All the people who worked the campaign, who stood in the elements, who did all that work for me, trying to get emotional about it, but it really means a lot to me when people do things out of kindness of their hearts and not because we did pay anybody to do this. So thank you to every one of you, each and every one of you. Whether you voted for me or even if you didn't, it's more of a challenge for me to those people who didn't vote for me, because I have something that I need to work for and to work towards, because I want to earn your respect, first of all, number one. And then the other is I want you to know that the reason I'm here is for our children and our teachers and everybody who works in this school district. I am proud of this school district. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I want to say welcome to Jessica. You ran a darn good campaign, girl. Yeah, thank you for pushing me even more. I appreciate that, Rob. Great to be able to work with you again. I appreciate that. So, with all that said, I will go on to our next person that needs to speak, I guess.
Well, I didn't run. I'm not elected, but I appreciate all of your support. But again, yeah, congratulations to Dr. Thurman, Mr. Chabot, and Ms. Ponder for joining the board. She'll be joining us soon. Because this is the kind of work that makes a difference in our communities, and so I really appreciate all of you on the board. I want to take this chance before we pull up some pictures and talk about rather giving that day on the STEAM school is to recognize Mr. Keith Brown. I remember when I moved here from North Carolina when the board hired me. So I lived at the time about 4 doors down from Keith and Karen. And so we were moving in, and I get a ring at the door, and he brings this big old peach pie that I killed, and welcomed us to the community. And that felt really good because we didn't know anybody other than the board that had hired me in the community, right on Hereford and Ferguson. And so he came down and welcomed us in and see if he could say anything. So I really appreciated that, Keith. And we're going to absolutely miss you from the board. And so I want you to join me in giving him a round of applause and an ovation.
We're definitely going to miss you. I don't even want to talk about it.
Also, just before we get into some of the updates, I want to just remind you of a couple of things. So one, math testing begins May 1st. And so we have been working diligently this year to get our students focused in the classroom. You've heard about the billion-word challenge. Students are reading. There is no secret sauce to growing in reading. You have to read all the time. You have to read books that challenge you, and you have to read often. And so we encourage our students to read at least an hour a day. So please encourage our students to continue to read. Students meet the expectations that we set for them. Ms. Hard read a minute ago, we're well over 800 million words? Close to 1 billion. So students will meet the challenge. So let's keep pushing them hard and focusing them on reading and math in all areas. So May 1st is when we begin our math testing. Also, the Student Expectations Committee has been working diligently getting ready for some work around our code of conduct. And I want to say just a word about the discipline, because I know that is something that is first and foremost on my list around the work we're doing. It isn't easy work, y'all know that. It takes a lot to shift and go in a different direction, especially when it comes to discipline. I've heard you, I hear you, and we have to begin changing behaviors because that will be lasting, right? And so we know and have opinions about suspensions, but we will be bringing a policy, hopefully to the board, that will be in preparation for the 17-18 school year that I think will be a cornerstone to some of the work we need to do around discipline in our classrooms and in our schools. Finally, just another announcement around dates. We will be having our Summer Institute for administrators, ISLs, and some teachers as well in our partnership with Washington University. That'll be May 31st through June 6th. I would want to underscore again that many of the things that we do are no cost to the district. The trip to San Diego that many of us went to cost the district not a dime, paid for through grants and other sources to help our folks be better prepared to make sure our children get educated well. So May 31st through June 6th will be our Summer Institute at Washington University. With that, I've heard this quite a bit, and with a bit of skepticism in the voices of some, and that was that, will you be ready in August for the opening of our STEAM schools? Well, I can tell you that we're well on our way. I personally went over the other day to take a look at our STEAM school, and so we have some pictures to show you. I wish I could play an instrument because I played it for you while I was going, because it is awesome. It is absolutely amazing, y'all, to be able to see some of the pictures over. So when we first went into the building, and you're taking a look at the screen now and some of the pictures, you wouldn't believe the way things were set up, offices set up, and they have absolutely gutted that space. And you see the big trenches in the floors, that is for the plumbing and the piping that's going down, the infrastructure that's being put in place. And this place will be absolutely amazing. And I can tell you, and it's Terry in the room and Laura, they have been absolutely amazing. Let's give Terry and Laura a round of applause. They have been pushing very hard to make sure they are on top of it, making sure that things are getting ready. That's the gym area. To the left side of that is cafeteria. That's the front of our building. This space is amazing. Today, I think it was, or at some point this week, they were taking out the front side of the building, so the fascia is going to be, or the face of the building is going to look totally different, similar to some of the things we unveiled at the State of the District address. All those spaces you see there will be classroom spaces. You see some doors going up. I think this is the 8th grade area, and the way that the architecture is laid out, it's going to be absolutely amazing. All of our areas, 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade, will have classrooms. In addition to that, some collaborative space so students can do some project-based learning and so many awesome, amazing things to deepen their content So we're really excited about opening up our new STEAM school in August of 2017. So let's give our community a round of applause for that. That's awesome. Our students are taking this very seriously. They're so ready. Dr. Bland and some others may say quite a few things about the update, but this is an amazing thing, I know, for our community, for North County, and we're excited about the road ahead for Ferguson-Florissant. So one district united. Let's do this, y'all.
One district united.
One more time.
One district united.
Thank you. Awesome. Give yourselves a hand.
Fantastic. The board allocates this portion of the meeting to allow stakeholders the opportunity to comment on both agenda items and non-agenda items at the start of each board meeting. Prior to the public comment period, participants are asked to fill out a comment card with their name. With their names, address, phone number, email address, and topic to be addressed, and will be allowed up to 3 minutes to speak. Members of the audience who wish to speak to the board are requested to speak from the podium, identify themselves, and in keeping with District Policy 4054, 4059, and personnel law, should refrain from making negative comments that are personally identifiable. While the board will not directly respond to speakers during the public comment period, the board president may make clarifying remarks at the end of the comment session to correct any misstatement of facts. So at this time, is her name? Where's her name? Okay. Eric Williams or Erica?
Erica.
Erica, okay, Erica.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for allowing me to speak. My voice is a little wonky this evening also, but I am a parent and alumni of the district, and I recently founded a nonprofit organization that I wanted to introduce to the board and the people here tonight. It's called A Red Circle, and what we're going to do is, all right.
Where's our timer?
Oh, should I wait? Sorry. That's okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Good evening. My name is Erica Williams. Want to make sure I was in the right protocol.
You're fine.
All right. So the mission of A Red Circle is the holistic betterment of our community and reversing the effects of racism, one person and cause at a time. And we're going to focus on North County first, because that's where I live, and logistically it's just kind of where the largest concentration of African American people live in St. Louis County. And our areas that we're going to focus on are employment, education, holistic living, policy, and the arts. We're going to deal with areas of professionalism, job readiness, children advocacy and conflict resolution, helping deal with different discipline, problems and ways to discipline children besides suspensions. We're going to teach classes on financial empowerment, insurance, healthy living, nutrition. We're going to tackle policy issues that deal with economic progress and education progress, such as the payday loan industry and banning the box for persons who have been convicted of felonies, and dealing with policy on the school level issue. And we're going to deal with the arts, meaning introducing new ways to introduce children to the arts, art therapy, music therapy, and children who are already in the arts, such as kids in this district, my kids, making sure they have everything they need so that when they go to competitions or then they put on plays, they have all the right clothing and materials and uniforms and set and money, and help kids who want to pursue the arts and higher education get scholarships. So I'm here if anyone wants to see me afterwards for more information, how to help, how to support, how to get involved. We're brand new. Our website is going to be rolling out hopefully this Saturday. And so we're just kind of really putting this into the community. I'm focusing here right now because this is my district. My kids are here. But at some point, I'm hoping to branch off to like Hazelwood and Riverview and the other districts in the surrounding areas. So thank you.
Thank you. Jessica Ponder.
Good evening. My name is Jessica Ponder. I did just want to come up and introduce myself, but Scott did that for me earlier. I just want to take a minute, not even too much time because there's lots of different things on the agenda tonight. So I'll get a chance to address everybody a little bit more at the reorganizational meeting coming up soon. I just wanted to thank the community for everything that they did for me during my campaign, all of my support. I'm really looking forward to being a part of the board and working with Dr. Davis and all of the board members. It's apparent from tonight that I obviously have some very big shoes to fill with Keith, but I promise I won't let you guys down. And I also want to thank Rob and Donna. It was an honor to run with you guys and to be elected and to be held up to that standard and work with you guys. You were both really great role models for me, and I'm really looking forward to working with everybody on the board. So thank you.
We're excited to have you and sad to leave. Have Keith leave. But anyway, we're going to have a short recess at this time. Let's do 10 minutes, please. At this time, we will. I am not good at this. Secretary, we're going to do our consent agenda. The administration presents the following items for approval under the consent agenda. Mr. Chabot.
Payroll of $12,024,123.38. Operational disbursements of $2,656,536.07. For a grand total of $14,680,659.45.
May I have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
I move we accept the consent agenda. Second.
Moved by Ms. Hogshead and second by Dr. Briggs to accept the consent agenda. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Early Ed program. George Rouse.
So welcome to the Early Education Program. I want to start this evening by looking at the math scores from last spring, so you can see the advantage that children have if they've been in the Early Education Program. We'll look first at English language arts. At the the average math scores in grades 3 through 8. The blue bar represents the average scores of children who have had no early education programming in our district. The red bar indicates the scores, the average scores for children who have had parents as teachers in preschool. Difference there. The new way to look at it is to look at the percentage of children who were in the proficient or advanced level. Blue bar is children who have not had our program. The red bar is the percentages of children who have been in parents as teachers in the preschool program. If we look at math, now we know that math is on its way to improvement in our district. The blue bar is the average scores for children who have not had early education. The red bar is the average scores for children who have been with parents as teachers in preschool. Looking at the percentages, blue bar is no early ed, red bars are parents as teachers in preschool. Not good enough, but we're getting better. Science is the same pattern. No early ed is topped by children with early ed on their average math scores, and the percentages are the same pattern. Children who've had preschool and parents as teachers do better in our schools. We had a really nice opportunity this year to have visitors volunteering in our program from the AmeriCorps program. It's a national program. We had 11 young people from all over the country. I was glad to have them, wanted to talk about our community. I loaned them my Ferguson book while they were here because I wanted them to take back the right message. They were in our early childhood special education. Now I'm losing the book. They were in our early childhood special education classes, Head Start, 2 kindergartens, and a regular preschool class. 4 buildings altogether. They stayed for 5 weeks. The children loved them. The teachers loved them too. The teachers started the year with more training in the creative curriculum studies. It was a very active training by the company that does the program. Teachers had to be actively learning if that's what they want the children to do, and some were really actively learning. They had to follow the process that they were doing with children, recording their results and really working through how children would study something. So what does a real study look like in preschool? Well, you would be amazed at how many worms you can find on the playground at Airport Elementary under the mulch. Children found a lot, and then they took them to the classroom and they studied what they had found. They made a habitat for the worms so they could keep them longer and learn more about them. The light table really helped them see a lot. They made predictions. Is my worm going to go to the wet side of the paper towel or to the dry side of the paper towel? They used rubber worms for measuring how many worms long is my friend. Good vocabulary in math. They were working on, if I have 5 worms and a predator, all the vocabulary, a predator eats 4 of them, how many worms will I have left? We wrap up the studies with parents. We do have events during the year for parents. Camp Read a Lot was very popular. It's just fun to read in a tent. And what's camping without fishing? There you're fishing for letters, though. Link is a parent-child program that we've been having since 1978. It's more for younger children. It's a daytime program. The mothers and the children, sometimes the fathers, sometimes the grandmas, come to school with their children and stay for class. Link Family Time includes the babies too, and they have good holiday celebrations with families. The Child Development Center here, the best in North County, has a cooperative agreement with the Florissant Police Department. Police officer brings Eddie the dog over to visit children in the Child Development Center. Eddie's really calm. He likes the children and they love him. Parents as Teachers is where we start first with families. Learning in the home is the best way for children and families. Parents learn about child development, they learn about parenting practices. They work, and this is a new piece, that they're working more on family well-being and more creating the resources for families. But in those visits too, the parent is the teacher, just like the parent is the child's teacher every other day. Let's Pretend, working on knowing and understanding how important pretend play is for early reading. And that they talk about things that are tricky in a family. Tips for two twins, maybe triplets, maybe quads, we've had that. Or maybe it's just one child that you work through and help families discover their own way of settling and dealing with things that are difficult. We have family events and parents as teachers. Blockfest, we had a life-size Candyland game, that was lots of fun. Fun to crawl down that path. The Magic House comes every year to bring activities. But you know that this is the critical time. When babies are born, that network is very sparse, and it gets very complex as the child heads towards 6, and then those networks get more organized. We want to influence how that happens. And those networks change because of experience. We want those to be good experiences with lots of education at its base. Thank you so much for your support for Early Ed program. I want to thank my wonderful staff, many of whom are here. Please stand up.
Years in our district, and more than that, 20 years as a director of our program, and at least 10 years before that, 12 years as an educator, and with a parents as teachers office too, headquarters. I just wanted to make sure there was a definite recognition for all the achievements and honors and the amazing things our district has done to help support our programs, and I know our staff is so
I could not let this moment go by without saying something, right? Like, so I've always been a proponent of early ed, right? But joy changes you when you are ever, like if you spend a little bit of time, because she brings up facts, right? But she's passionate about children, and I can tell you that, and folks on this team know that early ed is a priority in our district, because the data shows that the children are prepared, and when they get to kindergarten, that their lives will be so much better. So we just got to give her a roaring round of applause for the work she's done.
One more right here. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have to say thank you. It's been an honor and a privilege to spend all these years in this district. I have to thank you.
Thank you, Joy. U.S. World History High School Curriculum Materials. Dr. Forrest.
Dr. Berman and Board, thank you for allowing me to address you tonight. I would like to request the purchase of U.S. and World History materials.
I'm sorry. We were supposed to accept your report. We got all excited about it. I'm sorry.
I move we accept the early ed report.
Thank you.
I told you, Joe does it to you every time.
that and second by Dr. Graves that we accept the early childhood report. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right. Motion carries. Sorry, thank you.
My pleasure. So, the last purchase in spring of 2007, the current textbooks really have served us well. They've done a great job, but after 10 years, high schoolers taking them back and forth from home, in and out of lockers, they're getting worn out. And the company doesn't even publish the book anymore. And technology has changed so much in the last decade. So the book process worked like this: met with department chairs, and then I met with departments and said, hey, let's narrow this down. When we're looking at materials, what are the kind of the questions we want to come up with? And these are the three we came up with. What materials would help students develop their thinking and achieve the most academically? Which materials utilize the most current social studies and educational research practices? And will the materials meet the budgetary constraints? So we asked 4 companies to send materials for consideration. 3 sent samples, and 3 made presentations to teachers. Teachers said, well, let's see, that's okay if we like them, but what if the kids aren't engaged? So several teachers presented many lessons with the materials, and they discussed at the building district levels. Teachers from all 3 high schools voted, and the vote, Teachers Curriculum Institute had 8 votes, McGraw-Hill had 2, Pearson had 1, and 3 teachers chose not to vote. And when asked what the teachers and students like about the TCI materials, they said we like the fact that they are very interactive and they are technologically advanced. The social studies, of all social studies materials they've seen, these are the most technologically advanced. Every kid will get a login, and that login works on many different platforms, computers, phones, many different devices. And the teachers also said the other thing they liked about it is that not only were these materials, this company, what's interesting about this company, they do not sell books. They sell the online materials, and then with that comes a book that is included. But if I go to them and say, we want to buy the book, they'll say, we don't sell books. We sell this online materials, and then with the book, comes with the book in case the technology doesn't work on a certain day, or the internet's down or something like that. And the materials can also be printed. One of the things they also liked, there was a lot of differentiation. The teachers can actually go in and for each student set their Lexile level in the materials. So there was also some of the materials can be read to students. I mean, very, very good materials in a lot of ways. One of the things that social studies teachers have been using the last 10 years in particular are primary sources, so looking at original materials and utilizing them in the classroom in order to get kids to think like social scientists or like historians. A lot of great educational research theory goes into TCI materials, and I have some of the big names there: Wiggins and McKay, Understanding by Design, Cooperative Interaction by Cohen, so on and so forth. So the bid we received, there was a first bid came in and it didn't meet the budgetary restraints. So I said, it's not going to work. You're going to have to do better than what you had. So they lowered the bid by 20%, and they came in with this bid of $149,287.50. So if you do the math on it, 800 units times 2 courses, 1,600 units, purchased for 7 years, the annual bid would be about $13.33 per unit. Questions yet?
May I have a motion to accept the U.S. and World History curriculum materials at $149,287.50.
I make a motion we accept the U.S. and World History report.
Second.
Been moved by Ms. Hart and second by Mr. Brown. That we accept this report. Discussion. Questions? Not all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Middle school health textbook. John, comments? Okay.
Thank you for letting me address you tonight. I'm here to request the purchase of the new middle school health textbooks. Our last health textbook purchase was 2003. They have seen better years. Yes, CPR procedures have changed. There's lots of things that have changed since 2003. New health guidelines. The requested textbook is from McGraw-Hill and is the most updated version of our current health textbook. The caveat is it was a sole source provider. It's hard to believe, but there was only one health textbook that is up to date within the past 3 years. So after a very large search, this is the only health textbook we could find. And even though it is a sole source provider, we still submit it to the middle schools to be reviewed by the middle school teachers. All 3 middle schools approved of it. It is an update of our current text, so they're familiar with the system. And this new text comes with online resources, which helps to make our information a lot more streamlined. The current bid from McGraw-Hill is $42,245.70 for 530 textbooks and 14 digital teachers editions. It's basically about 2 classroom sets per middle school. If you have any questions, I would do my best to answer them for you.
May I have a motion to accept the middle school textbook adoption?
Second.
Moved by Ms. Hogshead and second by Mr. Brown to accept the middle school textbook, health textbook at $43,245.70. Any discussion?
Yeah, John. I just had to say that I do remember something for you. I'm not going to ask you anything about those questions.
Well, I was actually, if it pleased the board, I was going to ask you now that you're no longer a board member. Does that mean you're going to come back to Southern Building?
I was thinking about it, but are you going to call me?
You'll come on my first list.
Yeah, you're very kind.
Okay, any other real questions?
You won't miss me, Don.
If not, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Equal Opportunity Schools, Lead Higher Initiative.
Good evening again, board.
Good evening.
This year, by working with Equal Opportunity Schools, we were able to create a list of students that could benefit and be successful in AP using multiple measures, including academic records, student surveys, and teacher recommendations. Then we were able to match students with AP courses that align with their skills, interests, and career aspirations. We hope and believe that by having more students taking and passing AP exams, this will increase the district's overall APR score. Here are the 4 steps that we went through, we completed this year. We collected data from teachers and students. We were able to create a list of students who may benefit from taking AP courses. Then we created an equity pathway report. And from there, we were able to generate student insight cards. Here are the results and findings of our equity pathway report. Equity means how many students will be enrolled in AP programs for each school to close its participation gaps. Equity is based on the benchmark group, which is the number of middle and upper income white and Asian students who are taking at least one AP course. So if you look at McClure South Berkeley, in the fall they had a total of 41 students who enrolled. The number of missing students who we need to find is 40 underrepresented students. Now, underrepresented students means the number of low socioeconomic Black, Hispanic, white, and Asian students. McClure North, in the fall, there was 123 students who enrolled in the fall. So we found that McClure North would need to find 137 underrepresented students to close its achievement gap. And McClure had 80 students enrolled in the fall, and their missing student count is 122 students that are underrepresented. Their equity pathway report informed us of who our missing students were and gave us a holistic picture of each of the students so that we were able to go out and recruit them by creating a student profile. And as you can see on the student profile that we received, leaderships that each school received, it tells us each student's educational goal, what their career interests are, who their trusted adult is in the building, what subjects interest them, what teachers recommended them to take an AP course, their grade point average, and what are their indicators for AP readiness, but also what are their barriers to wanting to take an AP class. This right here I think is very compelling and powerful. From our Equity Pathways report, we're able to see how many students in our buildings have aspirations to go to college. As you can see, MSB, 79%, McClure, 84%, and McClure North, 87% of students have college aspirations. In February, we had our AP program launch at McClure High School. It was well attended with well over 150 parents and students to hear what taking the AP course was about and how to enroll. Each high school is currently enrolling first-time students in AP courses, specifically targeting the missing identified students, which was shown in a couple slides previously. As a member of the lead hire cohort, FSD will continue to receive technical assistance from Equal Opportunity Schools to close its participation and success gaps in AP courses by the fall of 2017. The cost for continuing services is $73,200 for all three high schools from the 2018 district funds. Administration seeks board approval for the EOS initiative for the 2017-2018 school year. There's three high schools, $24,000 each, just to clarify that.
Okay, may I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
We moved by Ms. Hogshead and second by Dr. Graves that we accept the EOS, that we accept this. I'm sorry, let me go back to EOS Schools Lead Hire Initiative in the amount of $73,200. Discussion.
So is that what you reported? They'll have a report?
Yeah, for next week for how many? Yeah.
Any other?
Your counselors are enrolling right now.
Okay, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Target Leadership Consulting Agreement.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So I am here tonight to ask that and recommending that the board approve the consult agreement with the targeted leadership not to exceed $244,400 from Title 1A and from Title 1. Let me give a little bit of background on what this is. So research indicates that leadership is second only to classroom instruction, has an influence on student learning. In order to continue cultivating our leaders, the district requests our continued partnership. The goal of this initiative is to help assist the principals in Ferguson-Florissant School District and the central office leaders who supervise and support them to use distributed leadership strategies and practices to improve teaching and learning. The intent of this work is to improve student learning and achievement, principal instructional leadership, teacher leadership, and instructional capacity, all of which are clearly linked to the system-wide policies and practices. The targeted leadership consultant began working with our district in the summer of 2015 and have continued to provide monthly support to the assistant superintendents, to our principals, to our ILTs. The goal of this initiative is to assist the principals of the Ferguson-Florissant School District and the executive directors who supervise and support them to use distributed leadership strategies and practices to improve, of course, the instructional practices that occur on a daily basis. Distributing leadership requires building the leadership capacity of the teachers with whom that it will be shared with. Part of this training is on how to help each of the ILT become a high-performing team. Part on how the ILT members can be strong facilitators and leaders of a grade level or a department team that they represent. The time is spent planning, leading, developing, and growing. The framework for powerful results and the cycle of professional learning is to improve the capacity of all teachers, which inevitably will improve our students here in the district. We've done work through our summer institutes. The consultants actually come and work with us and we plan. We have ongoing training supports for our principals, assistant principals through instructional rounds. The central office support, they come in and actually coach us as we're coaching our principals to give us really good insight on how to continue to build the leadership capacity. ILT trainings, we have actually, we've done, I believe, such a good job that the training, we have distributed that leadership and we've kind of turned over our guided visits. That work is done now in-house. We've had a lot of success, a lot of great feedback from the participants who attend our guided visits. Any additional information? Dr. Davis, that you wanted to add? I know you said possibly.
You did a great job.
All right. So at this time, we would like the board to approve the consultant agreement.
May I have a motion to accept the, okay. It's been moved by Ms. Hart and second by Ms. Hogshead that we accept the targeted leadership consultant agreement, not to exceed $244,400. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Summer learning program? Oh, you again.
Yes. All right, so at this time, the district plans to operate our summer learning program for the elementary, middle school, and high school. The students who will be attending the summer school, the program is designed to meet the needs of the students who actually need additional instructional support. They're reading below grade level, they're in jeopardy of being retained, and they possibly need additional credits. The cost of the elementary summer school is $85,550.62. The cost for the secondary summer school is $103,127. This money will come from district funds.
I have a motion to accept the summer learning program.
So moved. Second.
And moved by Ms. Hogshead and second by Dr. Davis that we accept the summer learning program in the amount of $103,127. Discussion.
I've got a question. Is the number going to change? Well, first of all, do we have a number of how many students yet that will fit into this?
So we are going with the numbers from last year. The number is actually, Dr. Bland, for elementary, how many, we're looking at the capacity of the building that it's going to be housed in.
Okay.
So the projected number is 233 students
of elementary. And then we're still in, if you will, the recruitment. We're really working with our counselors for the middles, in particular for the high school, looking at those credit recovery, ensuring that we're tapping into all of those students that need to attend summer school for credit recovery.
Okay.
And then we will give an update in August on the students that attended and their progress, their, if you will, pre-scores, post-scores, showing how our summer school has helped.
And let me add that we particularly put an emphasis on especially our juniors and those who aren't ready. So when they enter the senior year, it's really important to identify what those missing credits are, so that when they become seniors, that they are on track to graduate and preferably on time. Certainly we find some discrepancies, but all of the ladies, the assistant superintendents, Amy, Cacciatore, they've been doing a phenomenal job. Farhad, Dr. Jadali, and identifying students and then providing them with support so that we can get our graduation rate to 100%. But you have to have these intentional approaches to identifying the students and then giving them the supports they need so they can get the credits. Now that's an extension of that. The other side is once we get them graduated, we want them ready for college, right? And so that's a whole different set of skills that they need.
What building?
Jackson Walnut for elementary, for Ferguson Middle, and McClure.
Okay.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. STEAM, gifted program update.
I'd be happy not to play.
Wow.
We have a timer.
She got that.
Okay.
Go. I'm sorry, Matt.
So I will make it short, but I just want to say really quickly, we went to San Diego to the Deeper Learning Conference, to High Tech High, and it was so energizing. Laura received a ton of texts from us just saying what the potential could be for our building. And I have to realize that that school has been around for many, many years, but it was just so encouraging to know what we're doing here is awesome and it's going to be such a great experience for our students. I have, so upcoming dates. Twitter.
Get all the way up.
You're losing a minute.
So upcoming dates. We actually, that's 41. 41 finalists were notified, and I followed schools on Facebook, and there was several pictures of students so excited about receiving their acceptance letter. So we had 41 students who did receive their acceptance letters, and I thought, what experience is this? You are receiving acceptance letters at 5th grade. We have kids that look forward to that at 17 years old, and they are preparing right now in 5th grade to what's to come for them in high school. So that was just very exciting. June 26th through 29th, our teachers are going to be trained, gold standard project-based learning, professional development, and that will be all of our STEAM teachers will receive that training through the Buck Institute. So that has been finalized. July 24th through 28th will be our STEAM Summer Academy, and that's going to occur at McClure North. And that will be for our 6th, 7th, and 8th grade STEAM students. And then in October, we're going to continue to hold on to those applicants who do not move forward beyond the second round. This is a list of the schools and the students where they are coming from. And so, as you can see, we have representation from most of our schools. We really try to stay true to the process. And we have representation from all schools except 3 schools. At this time, but as I said, we really tried to stay true to the process and be very objective as we went through this process and provide several opportunities for students to perform in various manners for entry into the STEAM school. This shows the number, this is just for STEAM students. And so if you look at this sheet, you see that we have 41 students, 30 African American students, 7 white, 2 Hispanic, and 2 mixed race. And that's 41 total, and that's just for STEAM school. That was 14 male and 27 female students. This slide is for the 6th through 8th gifted students. So these students entered because they qualified for gifted education. And so within that group, we had 56 male, 55 female students, 6th through 8th grade. And that's just the gifted students. And if we pull the 6th through 8th grade STEAM and gifted students, we're going to have 70 male, 82 female students, which is a total of 152 students, which would be 8 Hispanic, 13 mixed race, 44 white, and 87 African Black students. This is a sample, and I will say draft, of a STEAM schedule. Because it's a 5-block rotation, it's 75 minutes per day. I'm looking at 4-minute passing time, and I just want to say a lot of this work was done through a design team of teachers, coordinators, administrators who really worked on trying to develop this STEAM school for us, this experience. I don't want to call it school, it's an experience for our students. So to just update you on our completed task, admissions process is complete. And it was, as I said, we really stayed true to the process. We had volunteers, administrators, teachers who had great dialogue about each of the students who interviewed in round 2. So it was quite a task, but it was completed, and I think the administrators and teachers, they enjoyed it probably more than some of our students did, but it was quite an experience for them. We're in the process now of teacher interviews, and those interviews are quite rigorous. Teachers have round 1, and then the second round is they are teaching, and administrators and teachers are observing them actually teach students. We have one student, kids tell it all, the candidate taught, and when she left, the student hugged her and said, now you are coming back, right? So, you know what? We don't need a scoring guide. The kids told it all, and she actually was a very, very good candidate for us. So those interviews are occurring currently. We will send an online registration. Will go live for the Summer Academy. So there was information sent out to parents of the dates, reminding them, and that went out this week, but we'll do an online registration for the summer experience. Our focus, we've been working with the Challenger Center, and they're working, so we've developed a summer experience. We're going to focus on critical thinking, and the strand we're going to focus on for the summer is engineering, and computer literacy will be the focus for this summer. Teachers will receive a professional development, a half day of professional development, and then the parent meeting will occur on June 24th from 10 until 12 p.m. and it will culminate the summer experience. So we don't have that finalized, we just have the 4.5-day experience for students finalized at this time. Next steps is to finalize our course catalog and get all of the students registered for their STEAM classes. That's all I have.
Thank you so much. Sorry. Thank you so much. This was for information only. So at this time, if you have any questions or comments.
I just have one question. When will teachers be notified of hire?
They are currently being notified as we're interviewing.
Oh, okay.
So it's quite a process because you're having to go through the entire phase 1 and 2 process. So as they're being selected, they're being notified.
And how many teachers are you hiring?
Total teachers will be 20.
For how many grades? For all of them?
6, 7, 8, and the 2 through 5 gifted program.
That's 20 for all of them?
Yes.
How many administrators?
1.
Wow. Wow. Good luck.
Well, administrator and a half. So we have Dr. Reese, but I'm going to support her in this process.
Oh, okay.
Fiscal austerity.
Wow. Will you make any trips over there?
Absolutely.
Are you sure?
So 1.5
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the information. We're truly excited about the STEAM school and it opening on time. Okay, at this time, we have one other thing that we added to the agenda, and I think Larry was going to come and present And this is concerning our date for reorg.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So questions concerning or discussion on the topic of reorganization. Under Missouri law and the common interpretation of Missouri statute, school boards are to meet, certify election results, and swear in members, elect officers at a reorganization meeting within 14 days of the election. Missouri School Boards Association encourages school districts to wait to swear in recently elected members until the election results are official, certification occurs. It's our understanding, after HICA contacted St. Louis County Board of Elections, certification for the April 4th election will occur on Tuesday, April 18th at 5 p.m. This is 14 days from the day of the election. So therefore, it's been recommended that the reorganization occur immediately following the certification results on Tuesday, April 18th at 7 p.m. in the boardroom. So that's the backdrop of the information that we have. We contacted Missouri School Boards Association. We've contacted our attorney. We've checked about what some other districts have done. There's a variety of answers there. We checked by Hazelwood, and they had theirs scheduled on the same evening that we had ours scheduled. So that's the information we have. If there are other questions, we certainly try to work through any of those that.
What is the recommendation from our attorney?
The easiest would be the date that we had already scheduled, because it was 14 days after the election, and the certification results would be there. It's not an absolute. As was pointed out, there are some other districts that have done some other things. But to follow the statute within 14 days of the election on April 4th, that would be the 18th, Tuesday the 18th. And for the certification results, again, as recommended by the Missouri School Boards Association. So it's kind of hard to give. There may be some options or latitude, but to comply, that's the reason that that date was selected, and following the certification results after 5 o'clock.
What's the protocol? Do we need a motion before we can discuss, or?
Well, if there's a possibility of taking action, yes, I would believe so. Yes.
Yeah. So may I have a motion to go with the date of...
If the recommendation then would be to go ahead and have that date that was determined, April 18th, for reorganization, and then you all would have the opportunity.
Okay.
I move we have a meeting on April 18th to reorganize.
Second.
It's been moved by Ms. Hogshead and seconded by Mr. Brown to have our meeting on the 18th. Discussion.
So is this a change in the statute? Have we always done it this quick?
The statute has changed periodically. There have been times in the past where we have not exactly followed that, to be honest. This was to be as careful with it as we possibly could, but there have been times in the last 10, 15, 20 years that we have not exactly followed. Now, there have been times also during that period where the requirement was 7 days after the election instead of 14.
Oh, wow.
So, and one of the things we run into, or have run into, is St. Louis County Board of Election being able to get the results certified within that time. So,
so they haven't even followed their own law, basically, sometimes.
It's not their law, though.
Yeah, it's really not. It's what's supposed to occur. It's basically on us and what we can do with the information we have available to us. So it has at times has handcuffed us, so to speak, about being able to follow that. This time, they were able to give a specific date and time, which they, in times past, have not been able to do.
And it has changed through the years. My first election,
Sure.
I was elected on Tuesday, and then the following Wednesday, which was the board meeting, I was sworn in. And then a few years later, it was that we had to wait 2 weeks, and we did it on a Wednesday. So it has varied throughout the years.
My first swearing in, they told me later that the vote wasn't even certified. So I'm just asking basically the board to consider the 26th because I'll be out of town next week. But that's your pleasure. The fourth Wednesday would get us all together.
Is there any repercussions if we wait?
Question was asked. The indication is districts, as far as we know, have not been sued over such decisions. They go, whether it's beyond 14 days or less than 14 days, with certification or without certification. We were just trying to make sure that we were as compliant as possible when that date was recommended. But to answer you, not to our knowledge, as far as any action that has been taken on the part of the state for that.
But there is a possibility.
Would we be lame duck that week, as so to speak? I don't know how else to say it besides lame duck. That if something would happen that week, would there be a problem?
You would still have 6 members, because the members that are already serving would continue until the reorganization occurs. So you'd still have 6 members that can still function as a board.
Scott, when will you be back from your trip?
I'll be out of town all next week.
Okay, are we ready for, do we need to do roll call? Or do we say all those in favor?
Well, first off, are we considering Scott's request at this point?
Well, the motion has been made to hold it on the 18th, so we would have to, I guess, vote it up or down and then revisit it. Was that correct?
The motion the recommendation in the motion was to go ahead and do the April 18th date, so yes, you need to dispose of.
Well, the second aspect of this is if we vote this down to consider Scott's situation, and then we decide we want to come back and not delay, can we come back to it?
I believe that answer is yes, you can. I don't have Robert's rules here at the moment, but I believe that that could occur.
I'm not sure of what, I'm not sure what your question, what do you mean by can we come back and change?
Well, the reason for that is if we vote right now for in a few days, I forget the date, The 18th. And we say no because we want to consider what Scott has to say, whether or not we're going to consider coming back and doing it when Scott is here. We have to discuss that. It's come up, it seems to me. And if we vote no, all I was saying is if we decide not to wait for Scott to come back, we can come back and say yes to what we're saying no right now too. Am I confusing you more? The question is, can we say no right now and come back and say yes after we discuss Scott's situation?
You can still tonight discuss it.
Yeah.
Yes, you just make another motion.
Okay, that's what I was going to.
I'm confused. I'm not.
Can we vote down this motion and then come back and discuss Scott, or maybe would make a motion for the other date and we discuss it and then vote on that.
So why are we not discussing it now? I mean, Scott's.
I'm fine. I'm just hoping we can do it on the 26th. So we have to vote this one down. I make the motion for the 26th, and then you vote on that one.
And so what if we vote down the 26th?
Can we come back? Maybe that's
That's
where it's all about.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it. I think.
Can I ask legally, gentlemen? I'm sorry, I'm confused, I forgot. Illegally, is after tonight, Keith's still on the board
At this time, yes.
until the reorganization?
That is correct.
And if there's any, legally, can somebody come after us for not doing it 14 days after? Or can we do it sooner than 14 days?
Do it tomorrow.
Well, there's the 14 days because we don't have a certification.
See, that's what I put it.
But,
The question is too, if it's a good enough reason, because we're missing one board member, to say, well, the reason why we want to change the date is because one board member won't be here. That's what we're trying to say. Will we be penalized for that? Because they might look at it as not a good enough reason.
There is absolutely nothing that we have seen or heard in reviewing this today that suggests that there's anything that would control or penalize the district at this point. Could there be something? There's always that possibility. But do we have anything to guide us on this? At least from the comments from Missouri School Board Association attorney and others, we don't have anything at this point to say it can't occur or it couldn't occur.
So it's a possibility.
Absolutely. Possibilities exist, but we don't have an easy answer for you, as you can see, just like you're trying to work through yourself.
Okay.
Well, we take this as sarcasm, but for the 6 years I've been serving on this board, every time I walk through these hallowed halls, I'm threatened to be sued. So that really has no impact on me whatsoever. So.
Well, it does to me. But, yeah, you say you're no.
I'm numb to it.
Okay. Let's call for a vote. And I think we need to roll call vote.
Mr. Ebert?
Nay.
Mr. Brown?
Nay.
Ms. Harge? Ms. Dr. Graves? Secretary votes nay. Ms. Hogshead?
No.
And Dr. Thurman?
Aye.
So it's 4 nays. So now, I make a motion that we hold a reorganization, just to make it as quick as possible, on Monday, the 24th.
Second.
Oh, I have my calendar.
Can I ask Jessica, because this is kind of important to her, are you free on that date?
It's important to all of us. Have to be.
I know, but I mean, we can vote yes or no, she can't.
Sorry, what did you say?
Come up here, please.
The 24th, are you available? We didn't even ask
The
about it.
24th, I am available. I was originally told it was going to be the 26th, so that was the original date that I was planning on coming, but I can come any of the dates we've discussed.
The 26th was mentioned originally just because it was the last
the board meeting,
Wednesday.
Regular board meeting, yeah.
For that purpose, as a regular board.
Did everybody look at their calendars? Is everybody okay? I just hate for us to go through another motion.
I would say just, if we're gonna push back now anyway, let's do it the regular day of the board meeting anyhow.
That's fine.
Because
Whatever.
we'll turn around and end up meeting Monday and Wednesday.
Courtney,
So-
you what?
Throw Thursday in there?
Then I withdraw my motion.
Oh, yeah, he's second.
Okay, I make a motion to reorganize on the 26th.
I second.
It's been moved by Mr. Ebert and seconded by Mr. Chabot that we have our reorg on the 26th. Discussion.
Yeah, for those of you that might be wondering why we're doing this, it's because Scott's not here, obviously. And I think it's imperative that when we pick the positions of the board, that we have an entire board here, that it's full representation, and I think that's the reason why I am in favor of doing this on the 26th. I won't be part of that, but I think it's better for the board to have all board members here.
My only concern is that we're not following the law and that we're not following what the state says that we need to do. And we put ourselves at risk of possibly being cited for not doing what they've asked that we do.
That may be so, but there's never been an indication that they've done it.
I'm just saying
Yeah, I
my
understand.
concern.
Okay.
And just because there's no indication of it, doesn't mean that there isn't. So
Well,
that's mine.
And I understand that. I also think that Larry talked about possibility, and I like the word possibility, but I think probability is probably a whole lot less than the possibility of it happening. So it's not probable.
Okay. Any other discussion? Call for the vote. Yes.
Roll call.
Yes.
Mr. Ebert.
Aye.
Mr. Brown.
Aye.
Ms. Harge.
Aye.
Dr. Graves.
Nay.
Secretary votes aye. Ms. Hogshead.
Aye.
And Dr. Thurman.
Nay. Motion carries. We are on the 26th. Okay. And I think that is it. We are adjourned. That was great. That we adjourned from this session and go into closing back into session.
You made a motion, I second.
Been moved by Ms. Hogshead and seconded by Mr. Stoll that we close open and go into closing.
Mr. Ebert. Mr. Brown. Ms. Harge. Oh, Dr. Graves. Secretary votes aye. Mrs. Hogshead. And Dr. Thurman.
Aye.